and Kinga Surma, Ontario's Minister of Infrastructure. Our government is committed to modernizing Ontario's education system to better meet the needs of students of all ages and their families. I'm proud to be part of a government that is listening to hardworking Brampton families and delivering real support. A prime example of this support is right here, the new 850 student space, Malala Yousafzai Public School. This school, as well as Mount Pleasant No. 9 school, also in Brampton, were approved in 2019 and already opening doors next year. Brampton is a rapidly growing community, and we need new schools like this. While the previous Liberal government disadvantaged parents and children across the province by closing over 600 schools, our government is investing in our kids by building schools close to home. In fact, we are investing about $15 billion over the next 10 years to build new schools, improving existing facilities, and create childcare spaces for parents. To tell you more about our government's plan to build schools faster, it is now my pleasure to invite my friend and colleague, Minister Steve Lecce, to the podium. Thank you so much.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for the welcome. I want to thank our chair, our representatives from the school board and the municipality of Brampton, and of course, a warm welcome to the MPP here, Amarjot Sandhu, who's been on a roll of getting new schools built, funded for families in Brampton, and of course, my partner, my parliamentary colleague, Kinga Surma, and friend, who's been an amazing champion of building communities faster as we realize growth in this province. It is an honor to be here in Brampton, a fast-growing community, as we pledge to build faster, build schools better and faster for the people of Ontario. And to have the Minister of Infrastructure, Kinga Surma, with us to make this announcement as we work together across government to get things done for the people of Ontario. A warm shout out to the school board. It is brilliant to be here at Malala Yousafzai School, where over 850 students will soon learn in this amazing space, and along with childcare. We need more projects like this one to be built and approved quicker to meet the needs, the growing needs of our fast-growing population. Hundreds of thousands of people will be moving to Ontario in the coming years, and it simply cannot take a decade to build a school in this province any longer, coming from an obsolete capital process that has not been meaningfully overhauled since 2010. For the first time in Ontario history, our government is taking new measures to ensure school boards are building schools in nearly half the amount of time it took before, cutting down the timelines by nearly 50% through a transparent, accountable, clearer process that prioritizes shovel-ready projects so that we get schools built faster for Ontario families and for the children of this province too. We want to support school boards by building modern learning spaces to meet the needs of students now and into the future. And the question is how? How can we cut timelines by 50% to build schools faster? The first is a significant change to prioritizing school boards to bring forth shovel-ready projects with realistic project costs and timelines so that these schools actually get built. The second is a strengthened accountability framework from school boards, where we impose timelines and benchmarks on school boards to build these projects according to their project agreements, that we deliver and meet the timelines set out. The third is standardizing design of new schools by using pre-approved designs of schools already built to reduce the school board planning timelines and to mitigate scheduling delay. The fourth deals with greater facilitation of collaboration between our school boards and our municipalities required by law to ensure planning and construction of schools is targeted to ongoing and future growth. The fifth deals with reducing red tape with a streamlined process of approvals and reporting requirements on new school builds being built within expected timelines. The sixth component deals with effectively using our space by supporting school boards in working together to operate schools in joint use facilities within the same buildings, and encouraging boards to be innovative and propose shared use projects like a school within a condominium in areas with high density and scarce land in urban communities. Finally, it's about identifying and disposing of unused surplus school board property at a fair market value to sell or lease to another school board that may be in need for learning for their kids. The priority for this building will continue to be education first before a site is considered for other provincial priorities, be it long-term care or affordable housing. If a school board sells a property, the proceeds of that sale will be reinvested into their school board's facilities to make sure they're maintained and renewed. This is part of the next step of Bill 98, the coming into effect at the end of this month. Because our government, under our Premier's leadership, is investing $15 billion over the next 10 years, committing $550 million every year to build new schools and to maintain existing schools. We acknowledge we can do better as a province, municipalities and school boards working together to cut down the timelines, because it simply cannot take a decade to build a standard school in this province. We're unveiling a plan that will reduce the timelines by 50%, saving taxpayer money, yes, but more importantly, getting access to a quality school and a community at a quicker rate. We must continue to do better and to challenge the status quo in this province when it comes to building faster for Ontario families. It's why I'm so pleased to be working with the Minister of Infrastructure, with Amarjot Sandhu, with our Premier, the entire government, including the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, to provide greater transparency, more accountability on school boards, more partnerships with municipalities to meet project deadlines and get schools, including like this one, a Malala Yousafzai, built in half the time that it has taken us before. As our province changes and grows, we must make the changes to meet this fast demand, and I know we will do it together, in partnership, to build for the future modern schools that are focusing on STEM and back-to-basics education in this province. Now, in order to do this, it requires partnership, and one of the key partners in our ministry and in our government is the Minister of Infrastructure, who's working around the clock to build communities for families in all parts of Ontario, small and large. Please welcome Kinga Surma to this podium. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Minister Lecce, and of course, thank you to my parliamentary assistant, Amarjot Sandhu. It's always a pleasure to be in Brampton, in Peel Region. The Minister of Education spoke to our historic investment in infrastructure, which is $185 billion across the province. And a piece of that investment is of course building new schools in communities, as we know that there are many places in the province of Ontario, like Brampton and Peel Region, that are growing very, very quickly. We've been working with the Ministry of Education very closely over the last year and a half in order to look at ways in which we can build schools faster. And one of the ways we're doing that is through standardized designs. What is that? Well, basically, it's providing templates to school boards so that school boards can use them in order to build schools in their communities. We believe that this can reduce the timelines, the planning and design timelines, so that we can get to construction faster. We know how important a new school is in a community. We want children to have the best environment for learning. And 4, 7, 10 years to build a school in the province of Ontario is, I believe, unacceptable. We're also looking at how we dispose of properties. We're also looking at surplus properties to make sure that we are using them better for social purposes, be it for building schools, long-term care, housing opportunities, and affordable housing opportunities as well. So thank you so much, Minister Lecce and Amarjot, for inviting me here today. Happy to be here in Brampton and happy to share the news of how we're building schools more quickly in the province of Ontario. Thank you very much.
We will now open up the floor for questions. Please come up to the mic and state your name and outlet. As a reminder, it's one question, one follow-up. We'll start with our first question.
Bonjour, Jérémy Bergeron with Radio Canada. My question is for you, Minister Lecce. So we know that TDSB is looking to put maybe a cell phone ban amid renewed concern of distraction in class. I know there's a provincial policy in place since 2019. However, it seems like it's hard to put in place. What do you think of the idea to maybe completely ban the cell phone in classroom? And do you think your policy is hard enough, strong enough?
Thank you for the question. I strongly support actions taken by school boards to reduce the distractions within schools, be it from social media or cell phone use. Many parents have written to the ministry and advocated for us to remove the distractions that hold back kids from learning the curriculum, be it on reading, writing, and math. And so from TikTok to social media to cell phone use, we all have to step up to reduce the impact it's having on learning. The province did introduce a policy to guide school boards, and we welcome school boards going even further. In fact, the province will be working with school boards to further strengthen any policy in place that keeps kids focused, keeps them focused on the curriculum, removes the distractions from learning in the province. So we welcome their actions, and the province, I think, is signaling that we're willing to work with any board to go further to make sure kids are focused on reading, writing, and math and STEM disciplines in school.
But could the province enforce its policy or change its policy to make it stronger, or?
Certainly, we're working with school boards on how to do that. I mean, we welcome the spirit of the policy, which is reduce distractions. We've never seen a higher, we've never seen more concern from educators around the distractions of technology in school, while they can aid learning if they're used in a productive way, according to the curriculum. We need to get rid of distractions in schools. Social media and cell phones, generally speaking, hold kids back from learning. I support actions that focus these kids' minds on the curriculum, on the educator in front of them, and learning the expectations set out by the province. So I'm prepared to work with every school board in Ontario to remove the distractions, including strengthening protocols on cell phone bans. I just think it's a good thing for kids to learn, to focus, and to stay attentive to the educator in front of the class.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
That concludes our press conference. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Okay, thank you.